So I decided to fund this project through OnlyFans because the project in itself, the story is supposed to highlight the discrepancies in how we treat different types of performers. Um, I there is a scene in the show where I will be fully naked, and it's a very important scene in the show, and it kind of highlights contextual consent. And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking also, how on earth am I going to fund this Edinburgh show? Taking a show to Edinburgh is very expensive. And although OnlyFans has been helping me, it hasn't been entirely funding my way to go to Edinburgh. So yeah, I just thought, like, this is probably the only way I'm going to be able to afford to take a show to Edinburgh. And it's what the show is all about. And I'm going to be naked in the show anyway. I would really like the first time that I'm like publicly naked, not to be when I'm losing thousands of pounds on it. So I have been selling full frontal nude photos to a select few subscribers, because I think you shouldn't be ashamed of being naked, and you definitely shouldn't have the first time that you're naked being when you're losing lots of money for it. So I started OnlyFans in 2020 when the pandemic hit, and I was working at a 0 hours part-time job, and our manager refused to furlough us all for a while. So we really were all I can't swear, can I? We were all a bit miffed about that. While we were waiting for him to decide to furlough us, I needed a way to have some income, because I think I had like £300 in my bank, and I had to pay my rent in a week. So I had a friend who actually hosts the podcast Strippers in the Attic, and I've known her for years, and she has been saying to me for ages, why don't you start an OnlyFans? Like, you only have to do what you're comfortable with, and you are leaving money on the table. Trust me, there are already men that are looking at your Instagram and thinking those kinds of thoughts. You're leaving money on the table. So I was like, you know what? Like, I really think she's right. Started OnlyFans in, I think, maybe May 2020. And this isn't the case for everybody. I was lucky enough to have already got the exposure and the following on Instagram that translated to a lot of OnlyFans followers. But my God, it changed my entire life. And I'm very angry that I didn't do it before.
Yeah.
So yes, it changed my life, and it meant that I was able to fund living in London in a cost of living while still pursuing a creative career, because it's not just acting that is really financially inaccessible to a lot of people. It's all creative freelance jobs. So yeah, and I think I still stand by my decision. It was the best decision I ever made. There's only reason I'm doing this play is because I am funding it through OnlyFans. So good decision on my part, I think. I only ever do what I'm comfortable with on OnlyFans, and that's the great thing. And all different creators will have all different boundaries. And again, that's what makes platforms like OnlyFans good. I can set what I'm comfortable doing. I'm more comfortable doing more now than I was when I first got OnlyFans. But I've never felt like I was pressured into doing anything. And I think it kind of is a good lesson in the idea that your work is valued, or can be valued, or should be valued how you say. So if I say that this pay-per-view message costs this much, I don't bargain. Like I feel like as women, there are so many times where we're in situations where we're told that we aren't valuable and our work is not valuable. But for me personally, OnlyFans is somewhere where I found that I can say how I value my work. And if you don't value it the same, that's fine. But then you don't get to enjoy my work. With maybe 2 days work a week on OnlyFans, I'm earning what I was working 6 days a week in, minimum wage jobs. So until the creative industry starts paying everybody fairly and appreciating, especially new people's work, then I understand why a lot of people supplement their creative work with sex work. No, so I was 16 when we shot Skins, so I didn't have to be naked. It would have been illegal. But I was in like implied nude scenes, and I think the rules have changed now, with what you can and can't get 16-year-olds to do. But yes, at the time I've been in like, I've been imitating sex, I've been in implied nude scenes, I've been in underwear countless times. Yes. Oh, when you're that age, you're very insecure about your body. I think a lot of women struggle with body image because we've been force-fed ideal beauty standards since we were fetuses. And I think it was more about the fact that I was going to be like, essentially, you know, wearing almost nothing on a set, imitating sex with a boy I'd only just met who was a couple of years older than me. It's just, my whole body would be on display, and I just felt very insecure about it. And so obviously I couldn't believe my luck when I got the part in Skins, and it changed my life. It was great. But yes, shooting some of those scenes were quite cringe.
Yeah. How did you get your role in Skins?
So me and my twin sister had a very small agent, which we got. I don't even remember how we got them, but to be honest, I think it was because we were twins and that agency didn't have any twins. So we were like hot property. And I think it was we got like maybe 3 auditions through that agent. The first one was actually Doctors, which was mine and my sister's first ever proper acting job. And then we got Skins because they were doing big open auditions. So I think everybody heard about the auditions, and then certainly everyone with an agent, even a smaller agent, had heard about the auditions and could hopefully get a chance to go in for them. And what had happened? We got asked to do an improv scene in the audition. And it just so happened that it was a very similar situation to something that had just happened to us. And so obviously we nailed the improv because we'd done the real life version of it. And yeah, there were 6 months of kind of on-off auditions, and like we didn't know whether we got the part, but yeah. But I do think it was easier because we were twins. The shoot that I did to sell as the first ever nude that I was going to sell on OnlyFans paid homage to paid homage to the character I played on Skins. And it was just a nod to that shoot, but it was kind of like a Pokemon evolution, I think, in my mind, of that character.
Hires obviously in massive Hollywood stuff, and like The Gentleman she was recently in. What's it like seeing her in that then?
Oh my God, it's crazy. I went to the UK premiere of that, and it was just, I was so proud. It was just such a perfect show for her, and I'm so proud of what she's doing, and she's an amazing mum. Like she's just bossing everything at the moment, and I'm incredibly proud of her.
And what does your sister do now?
My sister lives in New York. And yeah, she's still acting, writing and directing, filmmaking.
And what does she think of your OnlyFans?
So Catherine has always been nothing but supportive. I know that it's quite a weird thing for a sister or any family member to really think about. But yeah, Kat's always been like, you do you do what you're comfortable with. As long as you're doing what you're comfortable with, I'm happy for you.